Okay, let's see if we can make this work. Alright, so I apologize for the lack of cinematography here, but I'm a one-man show. I want to show you my my stretching routine. And so first thing I do is I warm up, but then what I do is I do an Achilles stretch. It's more of an Achilles and calf stretch. So what I'm going to do is, you probably can't see the wall, but I'm going to lean against the wall, and I'm going to come pretty far back. It depends on how stretchy your legs are. You should be able to see my feet and my ankles right now. The key with this is most runners and magazines and stuff will recommend this sort of stretch. I'll do it the other way, which is the traditional one-leg stretch. That's a great stretch and everything, but that doesn't really work that well for your Achilles. Your Achilles doesn't go straight up and down the back of your leg. The Achilles has a bit of a corkscrew to it. So what you want to do is you want to turn your toes in about, between 10 and 15 degrees. 90 degrees being the maximum if they were totally cranked off the side of your legs. So about 10 to 15 degrees, so a little bit, shoulder width apart. I'm going to lean into that wall, and I'm going to really lean into that stretch. You see how deep that stretch is going? And because of that little turn in turning the toes in, it also hits the Achilles and stretches out the Achilles and the soleus all the way up the back of the leg. So that's the first stretch that I do. And I hold that for a minute. Most people would say, 15 seconds, 30 seconds is all you need. I like to really let it settle in there and really feel it and just relax into it. Okay, so the second one, let me adjust my camera. So I'm going to need to be there's my mark about there. The second one is actually the magic stretch. This is the one that most people don't get. This is the one that most people don't get, and I never see this anywhere on videos or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to face the wall. I'm going to get about maybe a foot away from the wall. And again, I'm going to point my toes in about between 10 and 15 degrees. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend my knees and sit back into my Achilles. I'm going to balance myself with my hands against the wall or against a tabletop, not to be weight bearing, just to balance myself. And you can, if you get it just right, just before your heels lift off the ground, you can feel this tremendous stretch right on the anterior Achilles. And it's fantastic. This is the stretch that cured my Achilles tendonitis. It's a wonderful stretch. And you can see the angle that I'm getting on that Achilles. When you first do this, you won't get that angle. But I can get that angle because I've been doing this for years before and after my runs. And I'll do it for a minute. Like I said, I'll let it relax right into that stretch. Maybe even longer if I'm having problems. But that's a very, very powerful preventative stretch. A little bit of point in at the toes, just relaxing back in. And you'll feel it when you hit that sweet spot. You'll feel it in the Achilles. All right. Also strengthens up your quads too. It's a bit of an exercise. So those are the two magic Achilles stretches. And then the final stretch that I do, where am I going to put this? I'll put it here. I'll put it over here. So the final stretch that I do, let's see here. Clear a spot. I know, look at all that work I have to do that I'm ignoring. So how's my look here? Looks good. Okay, final stretch that I'll do is a simple hurdler stretch. And I'll do this with about a waist-high table like this, or a counter. And the important thing is I'm getting that leg stretched out. I can feel it all the way at the back of my hamstring. You don't want to bend your back. You want to lean into it like you're praying. You can grab that toe if you want. If you can grab it with the other hand. But the other thing I do is I massage while I'm doing this on the bottom of my leg. So you can work your fingers up and down that hamstring and feel it, just sort of feel it lengthening as you do that. So you can work up and down that hamstring from the top all the way to the bottom, and you can work that calf, and you can feel it release as you do that. And again, I'll hold that and I'll rub that out for a minute, and I'll do each leg for a minute. So total for me, if you add it up, is about 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. And that's what I do to keep from getting torn muscles and Achilles tendonitis. That's it. Simple.